following is a paid political announcement.
This is Marty Dolan. I ran against Jamal Bowman and AOC because I believe New York City needs to turn away from socialism after 5 years of disastrous policies. Now I'm running for public advocate so we can get New York City back to basics and focus on the municipal excellence you deserve. Go to martydolan.org to find out how you can help. I'm Marty Dolan. I approve this message, paid for by Marty Dolan for office.
A common sense recap of the day's biggest stories. It's John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby. Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
Joining us now is the great Wall Street Journal reporter and editorial executive there. We love her, Kimberly Strassel. Kim, your column is spot on. I cannot believe that this judge allowed Jack Smith's documents to come out within literally weeks of the election. How is that not election interference?
Yeah, I don't really understand it either, Rita. I don't think that you can look at this as the swift carriage of justice, which is what they are suggesting. We are well within the 60 days in which the Justice Department cautions people to stay a little bit more stepped back so that they're not seen to be interfering with the election. He did it anyway. I think it's hard. You don't have to be a cynic to believe that Jack Smith knows that if Donald Trump wins this election, his indictments go away and that he is playing in the election here, trying to make sure that outcome doesn't happen.
Yeah, there's no question. But isn't this, Judge Weinberg, it's ridiculous. And it's so blatant. To me, it looks like, okay, J.D. Vance has a good debate. Trump seems to have the momentum in many of the key swing states. And now this drops, Judge Weinberg.
Kim, your column was absolutely terrific. The point is that there's no legal reason that they needed to have this kind of processing of the motion practice on the immunity now. They could have waited till after the election. There's no rush to have this trial now. And the other thing is, if she insisted upon dealing with the immunity issue now, there's absolutely no reason at all that she shouldn't have sealed the record and not released it. That should be sealed. It should be in the court files, and it should not have been made public.
But you guys are arguing legal issues.
That's politics, John. That's politics.
But people in the world want to know what it says.
But the point is, what it says is it makes allegations against Trump, which you really can't rebut effectively.
You got 1 million listeners out there. They want to know what it says.
Okay, the bad news is lots of cheap shots here. Anonymous kinds of, they don't know who's saying it.
Anonymous is exactly
right. It has nothing to do with immunity.
See, that's the point.
Yes, names.
Everybody says, oh my God, how terrible, how terrible, how terrible. But it's all anonymous. And you don't know the truth.
And let's not forget, when it goes before a grand jury, it's one-sided. It's just like the January 6th committee. You present what you want, and there's no chance for a rebuttal.
And John, the good news is Jack Smith doesn't understand politics, and that is no one cares in the end. It will not have an impact on the election. Could even help Trump get his supporters out.
Let me ask him on that. Let me ask him, what do you think? Do you think it could actually help? It could backfire and help Trump?
Well, look, I mean, here's the thing. We don't know. But that to me, look, I think my original judgment would be that it wouldn't, because there's very little in here that hasn't been said or suggested that people didn't hear a long time ago. And those people have already decided that they're going to vote against Trump. But here's my problem with this. Whether it helps Kamala Harris or not, the appearance of this is such that if she wins now, half of the country can look at this and say, that's the reason that she won. And that's besmirching, not besmirching. That is a knock on the Department of Justice. It's why you stay out of these things, so that you do not rip down your institution's credibility.
That's exactly right.
Absolutely. And you know what's amazing, you guys, during the debate, let's not forget, it was during the debate, I couldn't believe this week, Tim Walz is the one to say, oh, when Trump gets in, he's going to weaponize the Justice Department. I'm thinking, what have the Democrats done the last few years?
He said it without any sense of irony, by the way.
Yeah, he wasn't laughing at the time, Kim.
Yeah, and that's the last point here. This name isn't getting mentioned enough, but where the hell is Merrick Garland? The last time we saw him, he was standing behind a podium complaining that people are mean to the Department of Justice and his employees, and how dare people accuse them of interfering in election. Jack Smith is not without some accountability to Merrick Garland. You have to assume he agreed to sign off on this. What is he doing to his institution? How does he possibly justify this?
Kim, the Justice Department has their blackout period. This is a blackout period before a presidential election. And yet Garland, who does control a special prosecutor, he's not an independent prosecutor, and he should have exercised control.
Governor Patterson?
You know, John, we'll probably talk more about this on Sunday, but I really think that this should never have happened. And what was said before is absolutely right. If I was the Democratic candidate for president right now, I would actually criticize it.
But everybody
Can't you be? Yeah, we would appreciate it.
Everybody's talking about.
I'll make a few calls.
Everybody's talking about it, but you got to state the facts. It's all anonymous. It's all BS, unless you tell us who it is, who said it.
Yeah, and they're not releasing it because it's grand jury. That's a great point. Kim, thank you very much. Really great to have you here. Thank you. And check out Kim's great column there in the Wall Street Journal. Thank you, my friend.